What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Travis. Of course, you are watching TWA Motorsports, and in today's video we're going to go over some stuff down here in the shop. I'm actually going to back the Trans Am up, let you guys hear that. We're going to talk about that in 1 second, but I did kind of give you a teaser. I installed a new charger over there. I'll take you over there and show you that in a minute, but I want to show you why we bought that charger. So yes, I actually traded my 2020 Sierra in for Dana a new rig, and I'm gonna take you up here and show you it real quick. I'm not gonna take you for a ride right now because I actually have a guy coming out to tint the windows. Neighbor of mine, he just recently did the shop truck and he did a great job. He did Dana's I wanna call it a G8, her SS. But I'll walk you around it real quick before he gets here. I don't wanna be in his way. And it's really kind of dirty right now. It's been dusty and we've been driving on the highway, so it's got bugs on it. But yes, we bought a Tesla Plaid, 2021 Tesla Plaid. This thing's insane, absolutely insane. I hate the steering wheel. That's about my only complaint here. It's kind of blah. I don't like the wheels. I think we'll do something different there at some point. It's got the smaller wheels, which I guess supposedly they're faster. The 21-inch wheels slow it down. I still like the 21-inch wheels better. So anyway, I'll give you guys a look at that. We'll take a ride at some point, but guys coming up the tint all the windows, including the windshield. You guys know that I tint all my windshields. The only reason I didn't do that in that truck is because it's got a crack. I need to get the windshield replaced, but eventually that guy will be tinted as well. But anyway, let's get back down here to the shop. I know that's a real letdown, but that car is ridiculously fast, surprisingly fast, especially out of the hole. It's ridiculous, but I hate the steering wheel. That yoke steering wheel, guys, it's not my thing. My wife loves it, absolutely loves it. But anyway, I will say it's got full autonomous driving, and it is insane on the highway. It will pull over when there's somebody broke down on the right side of the road, changes lane on its own, turns wherever you want it. It'll back up to a charger. It's just incredible, the technology in these things. But before, we had what they call a travel charger for her car and her old one. So we had a 2017 P100D, and I thought that thing was fast. I think they ran like a 10.2 in the quarter at like 120. They really fell out on the top side. These run like 920s in the quarter at 155. It's stupid fast. But the old charger that we had a 110 plug, so you could just plug it into a regular outlet, or it had a 220. So I had a 220 plug here for the Tesla. On the regular 110 outlet, it would charge for every hour it was on the charger, it would give it 3 miles of range. When it was on the old plug, it would do 22 miles of range for every hour that it was on the charger. So obviously a lot faster. That's why I put it down here. But this charger will do 37 to 40 miles of range for every hour that it's on that. So it's a huge difference when it comes to like charging. But yeah, we've gotten rid of a few cars here recently. I actually got rid of her SS, is gone now. We actually sold that 2 days ago as I'm filming this, maybe 3 days ago as I'm filming this. Went to a great home. I think he's gonna take really good care of it. I noticed he washed it before he got home. Guys, I haven't had a chance to wash anything. It's been so ridiculously hot. You'll see in this video, I'm sure by the end of it, I will be soaked in sweat. But we freed up a lot of room out here in the shop because the Tahoe's gone, the Sierra is now gone, so I'm daily driving the shop truck. Obviously, we got the Tesla in place of the SS, and the turbo truck's gone, the short bed pewter truck's gone. I kind of talked about that a while back though. But anyway, I took this thing down to the shop this last weekend, took it on the trailer. You guys have seen a picture of that on Facebook. If you're not following me on Facebook, there's a link down below. But yeah, kind of a squat. Look, that's got a 4-inch drop in the back now and no drop in the front. So it's already got that Cali lean, which no, I'm not leaving it like that. But you know, like Cohen's truck's just got a 2-inch drop in the back, and we still use a hitch that hikes the trailer up, and you can see he's got the lawn mowing trailer on, but it still sets pretty level even with the lawnmower on there. But when you're that low in the back, we were on the bump stops, which look, I would rather be on the bump stops than like an inch from the bump stops, and every bump you hit it. But I did drive it down there with my trailer on the bump stops. But anyway, let's negotiate. I had to put the Tesla in here last night to charge it, and so let me move some of this stuff around off camera. and then we will get this thing started up and you guys can hear it. We'll back it up and we'll talk about what I plan to do. Now, one thing I noticed, this thing had been leaking transmission fluid. It leaked on the floor. I tightened up the line, and I don't know if it's residual, but there was no transmission fluid. We're gonna look when we back this thing up, but I noticed there was a little on my trailer after taking it down there and bringing it back. I don't know if this line's still loose or if it's just like residual leak from not getting the line tight, because I put AN fittings on. But anyway, let's start this thing up and let you guys hear it. Headphones, that'd probably help. Let's back it up a little bit. I'm gonna have to go a little further back. I want to get it up on my race ramps, and the reason why is, so I aligned it without the sway bar because I thought that would give me a little bit of problem as far as getting adjustments. I think the bikes are far enough out of the way, but if I pull it up on my race ramps, I can kind of roll under it and install the sway bar like I'd like. And let me try to negotiate this a little bit differently. We'll get the race ramps over there in the corner, get it up on those, and I'll show you what we're putting on. This thing's really being annoying. I don't know. That's trans fluid. There's like no active leaks that I know of. So I don't know what's going on here, guys, but you could see my alignment. Generally when you lower these things, there's not a whole lot of adjustment in the factory suspension. Like I don't know if I said this before, but if I had to do it over, I would keep the factory K-member in it. The whole reason I did a K-member is because of the turbo stuff, and obviously we're not doing that, but I've got the tires pretty locked in as far as camber goes. Okay, I don't have a ton of camber in this thing like most lowered F bodies have. The problem though is it's so hard to adjust, and it's a real pain for an alignment guy. And I've done alignments in the past, like mostly just toe sets. Occasionally I mess with some camber stuff, but I'm not an alignment guy. But I was able to get it within spec other than the caster. And the caster is where the actual wheel sets like this. Camber is obviously whether it leans in or leans out, and then toe is really what burns up your tire. So the toe is on, but let's get it up on the ramps and get under there, see if we can get this sway bar on. So as far as sway bar goes, I didn't buy this. The Trans Am that we parted out, the pewter one, right before I left, the guy's like, do you want some suspension? I told him, no, I don't want any stock suspension. And he's like, no, I got some aftermarket stuff. And he gave me the front and rear sway bars. I've already got the rear one in, you guys saw that in the video. But the front one is a nice UMI replacement, thicker than the factory one. You can see the factory one up there. I actually painted it because I thought I was putting it back on. I'm not gonna be taking this thing into corners at 100 miles an hour, even though it could do that. But because of that, all the stuff that I had won't fit this, right? So this is for, I believe, a stock size bar. This one's like 1 3/8 inches. So what I had to do was I ordered actual bushings for this directly from Amazon. So I'm hoping that this will be the size that I need, and I'm hoping I can find my bolts, but that's one part. And then the other thing is the end links, and I thought I had those too, but I didn't. And the only ones I could get in a decent amount of time were black ones. Not a big deal. I know everything else is kind of in that red, but I don't think it's gonna be that big a deal. So let's crawl under there and see. Well, let me see if I can find the bolts off camera real quick, and we'll get under there and see what all needs to be hooked up. It should be relatively simple. I wasn't super impressed with my bolts. Kind of crusty. I used my wire wheel on my grinder to grind just to clean off the threads, and I've got them soaking in some simple grain. So I'm hoping we can start with maybe the end links, and that will get it in position. But let's roll under here and see what exactly, let's get this. It's been 6 years, guys, since I've had this sway bar on this car. So yeah, there's a couple other bolts in that bag I don't know about. I think there's a cruise control box maybe that goes over there, but we'll check it out when we get under there. I've got my end links laid out on right and left side. Okay, so I've got some wiring, just miscellaneous tied here for now, but you can see one of our D mounts, our D ring mounts, goes here, and the other one, look at all the spider webs just in a short amount of time. The other one obviously goes on this side. So I think I may get lucky and be able to put our end links right here. Go ahead and put those in. And so kind of how this thing works is it kicks up into this area, so it clears kind of everything around here. But I really think there's a flap is what those other pieces are that are in my bag go to. Let me see if I can get it started on both sides. There's no real great way to set the camera up, but I'll show you guys once I get it maybe on one side or the other. This is pretty self-explanatory. If you've never installed one of these before, a bushing on each side of the arm, then a washer, the center link, and then your sway bar is going to go in between these two bushings. In order to get it kind of started like this, you can see I just put a nut on this side. There's not a lot of room, so there's not a lot of excess like poking out of the top of this, kind of like the factory had. I feel like quite a bit more stud left on the top, but I'm gonna have to get something to prop the center of this bar up since I'm not ready to put the D-rings in yet, at least to get this started. This is kind of what I've constructed to try to hold this thing, but I don't think there's any way. That thing's just not long enough. Let me turn the light on my camera here. It is not long enough to make this happen without this all falling and being weird. So I'm just gonna have to go clean up my bolts, and we're gonna have to put these D-rings on first. So this thing's kind of suspended. I probably am gonna have to take the wheel off too from the looks of things. There's just no great way to do this, and I'd have way better access. It'd be way more comfortable on me if I just took the wheels off and tightened these up accordingly. So let's just go get our new D-rings. I got some stuff to wipe off this anyway, and we'll get the bolts cleaned up. Oh, these fit this sway bar great. Now normally your sway bar would come with these. I don't really think it matters whether the opening's in front or back. I'll just try to make it uniform. You just open this up, slide around the bar. Actually goes this way, and then we'll get our little mounting tab and our bolts, which I think we've got over here. Kind of sandwich that up around it. You can see it's got a grease zerk. And it also comes with a couple washers, which we'll try to use. I think, you know, the hole's slotted so it can move around a bit, but we've got 2 washers. And then I'm just going to be using the factory bolts. Hardest bolts in the world. I want to show you that, but guys, I had to stop filming because you couldn't hear a thing. It was raining so ridiculously hard. You can see the limbs on the trailer. We had a fountain out here. You can see the water back there. I bet we got 2 inches of rain in a little less than an hour here, but I have been fighting like crazy getting this thing. I want to show you what I ended up doing. The only way I could get this fastened. Okay, so these right here, I had to use a pair of channel locks to push the 2 pieces of the bottom around. I had to unbolt this completely and pull it forward, and I just got like 1 thread started on the top. Now, once you get it started, it's fine, because as you can see on this side, if I can get my camera light to go a little brighter, I've got a substantial amount of thread coming through once it's tightened up, but holy crap, they're just, honestly, I'd rather have them a ½ inch longer. So hopefully, guys, look, I had to do this because I got this, I mean, it was new in the box, but it didn't have the hardware. So I'm assuming he lost that somewhere or threw it away, but so I had to source my own D-rings and bushings, and then obviously the pieces on the end, but this is the only way. You can see I've got 3 sets of these channel locks, trying to get a grip so I can push this together in order to get a thread start on top. But now that we've got that, I can go ahead and snug it down. I did tighten these just as tight as I could get them with my just 3/8 inch drive. I don't think the torque specs on this is crucial. I just, like I said, I got it nice and snug. And then this, I'm gonna try to match it on both sides. Generally you want to tighten it until the center doesn't spin, but shoot, the center doesn't spin now. I got that wrapped up. I was gonna show you guys more tonight, but hey, I've got some question out there for some of you F-body guys that have aligned some of these front headlights. So back when I started this whole project, I bought another motor and I've got it setting, I think it's somewhere over there under that kick panel. Here's the situation. So this thing has a ton of play in it. You see that? So when you're going down the road, that's going to be moving. This one's a lot more snug. I think I'm missing a screw for the lid, like the little eyelid, I guess you'd call it here. So check this out. So if I shut the hood, if I were to open the headlights now, that's going to, I think that's going to scrape. See how it moves back and doesn't go straight down? I think this one needs to clamp down just a little bit more. Maybe open up that gap a little bit to more, see how it kind of gets thinner here. And then this one, obviously, it needs to move back as well, although it's going under because it's lower here. I don't know. I think maybe I need to adjust the lid. It's kind of a chore, but I also, this motor seems really weak to me. There's just a lot of play in it. So let me know in the comments, guys, or if you have a link that you can email me on the best way to adjust these. I'm not a body guy. I can adjust hoods a little bit, but stuff like this, there's so many moving parts. I know that I can get it to, like, I can move this bumper out a little bit because this one actually sets on the bumper like it's supposed to. It actually could come up just a little bit. So I know that's one thing that needs to move, but I don't know, it just seems like it's moving too much to me. But anyway, that's where we're gonna stop for tonight. You can see I'm soaked in sweat. Window tint is getting close to finished, and we had a little bit of a rain delay that I couldn't hear myself think out here. But hopefully you guys did enjoy the new car that Dana got. I will be taking you for a ride in it at some point. I just don't know when. It's gonna be a few days before the window tint dries, but we've got more to knock out here on the Trans Am. Obviously I wanna figure out what to do with the headlights, and I need to figure all that out before I put the bumper back on. The poor bumper that's been sitting up there for who knows how long. Got a lot more front end parts I wanna put on this thing. We gotta get some stuff plugged in. I gotta get the, I did an ABS delete here, so I would like to get that wired up for the line lock, even though I'll probably use it very little. Yeah, we're starting to tie some stuff up here. This thing's actually drivable down the road, which you will be seeing very soon as well. But if you guys are enjoying this stuff, please, like always, smash that thumbs up button. If you guys are not subscribed, go down and hit the subscribe. Of course, like always, ring that bell notification. That will notify you every single time we drop a new video on the Trans Am, the new to us Tesla, or any of these other projects in the shop, and stay tuned to see what we work on next.